Syria has slammed Israel after it bombed a village in the country's south. Several families were evacuated from Koya in Daraa province after the Syrian Foreign Ministry said at least 6 people were killed in the attack. Israel, on the other hand, claimed that it was responding to an attack on its forces. The Syrian Civil Defense Group, known as the White Helmets, shared a video of the evacuation on Tuesday. Women, children and the elderly were seen boarding and alighting from vans. Syria has termed Israeli attacks as a flagrant violation of its sovereignty, and Israel has claimed that its troops returned fire after armed fighters targeted them and then an Israeli warplane struck the fighters. But it did not specify whether the Israeli troops were located within Syrian territory when they were targeted. The Israeli military has also revealed that its troops had operated in recent weeks in several locations in Syria following intelligence operations. In fact, following intelligence indications, it said that troops had located numerous weapons and that all of the items that were located were confiscated and dismantled. Israel has launched hundreds of strikes on military sites, in fact, since the fall of the Assad regime in December, saying it wants to prevent weapons from falling into the hands of the new authorities. On Tuesday, the Israeli military said it had struck military capabilities, the Syrian military bases in Palmyra and another 50 kilometers west of the city. On Friday, the military had carried out strikes on the same bases. United Nations Special Envoy for Syria, Geir Pedersen, told the Security Council on Tuesday that he was concerned by Israeli statements on the intention to stay in Syria and demands for the full demilitarization of the south.
You know, Syria stands at a crossroad. It could go bad, but that should be in no one's interest. And no one can really have an interest in that. So what we need to make sure is that we support what Syria is not trying to do and that we mobilize real international support behind that.
Pedersen also said that rising violence within Syria is threatening the great hopes its people once had following the ouster of Assad. And apart from Israeli airstrikes, he also pointed to the conflict in various parts of the country, including the border with Lebanon. And for more on this, our correspondent Susan Tehrani getting us this report from the UN headquarters in New York.
While this month marks the 14th anniversary since the uprising against the Assad regime, the horrific events of this month alone show that any glimmer of hope for a better future for Syria remains elusive and fragile. On Tuesday, the United Nations Security Council held an urgent meeting on Syria following recent sectarian violence, the deadliest since Assad's fall in December. Hundreds of civilians, mostly Alawites, were killed. The United States and other members condemned the violence and called for a transparent investigation and also accountability. The United States also stressed the need for a truly inclusive political process that involves the Kurds, the Druze, the Alawites, and the Christians, and also warned foreign fighters, including Iranian militias, that they must be removed. But the question remains, will these calls ultimately play a pivotal role in pressuring Syria's interim authorities to move beyond their past and build on a stable future? Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World is One.